So this little cabin behind me is just one of the first cabins we're seeing here in the town of Ashcroft, Colorado. A silver mining town that didn't last very long, but it's quite famous, especially since it had a television series filmed here in 1958. Let's take a look at it, shall we? So this is my first time in Ashcroft too, so bear with me as I learn this stuff at the same time you do. This was the blacksmith's shop. Every mining camp needed a blacksmith's shop, especially a transportation hub like Ashcroft. Well, let's take a look inside, shall we? Bird. Pretty little bluebird. They're not going to be happy that I'm in here. These birds. Where to store all the extra timbers? How about here? At least one of the original chains may still rest here. Or it was just used to throw the wood in here. Check out that cloud up there. That is awesome. Yes, I'm easily impressed. I'm impressed by very cool clouds. In fact, let's see it some more. What does that cloud look like to you? I don't know. The Wasatch test is failing on me. I can't quite place it, but it is pretty cool. And here in these mountains outside of Aspen, Colorado, the weather today is perfect here in July. Not too hot, not too cold, probably about 80 degrees. Transportation, difficult travel. For the new camp to survive, Ashcroft had to connect to the outside world as quickly as possible. This involved mules and burros that hauled supplies into Ashcroft and carried valuable silver ore out to processing plants. The camp struggled until wagon roads were built. In June 1881, the Aspen Times reported there is considerable commotion in Ashcroft concerning the toll road. The Taylor Pass toll road did not open until the summer of 1982. The fee for a wagon drawn by 2 animals was $2. Stagecoaches also did business on the new roads. I'm not going to read you the whole thing. So, Ashcroft, silver mining town. It was formed by 2 gentlemen that came out from Leadville in search of gold or silver, and they found silver. In fact, they found silver probably up in the hills up there someplace. It wasn't down here in the valley. And they founded Ashcroft. They put together a group of other interested miners and platted out the city. I'm just looking for deer. So, as I was saying, Ashcroft was a silver mining town and formed by 2 prospectors from Leadville. Their names were Culver and Coxhead. Leave it alone. These 2 gentlemen, they got some interest after they found a sizable amount of silver and decided to form an association of miners. And this association of miners all paid $5 each and helped form the town that you are about to see. What's left of it anyway, Ashcroft. You can see it behind me, see? So I can give you the whole history lesson, but I'm not going to. But I will tell you that it was formed in 1880, and by 1885 it was pretty much a ghost town because the silver became harder and harder to get out of the ground, as almost all gold mining towns seemed to fare. This must be where they kept all the raspberry plants. I don't know. I don't think those are raspberries. I could be wrong. No idea what it is. Is there a plaque? Sure there is. It's over there. We'll get to that. New life for an old ghost town, Highland Bavarian Lodge. By 1936, Ashcroft's booming Ashcroft's mining boom was long over, but a different type of boom was coming. The 1932 Lake Placid Winter Olympics had sparked America's enthusiasm for winter sports, and Olympic bobsled champion Billy Fisk, his business partner Ted Ryan, and former Aspenite Thomas Flynn hoped to capitalize on this trend. So, the long and short of it is, the trio opened the Highland Bavarian Lodge, where the Creeks, Castle, and Conundrum join in December of 1936. Some European ski experts were hired to design the ski area, and it became a thing to do. The outbreak of World War II halted the development of the Highland Bavarian ski area. Steel for the lift towers was unavailable due to wartime rationing, and sadly, Billy Fisk was killed in 1940 during the Battle of Britain. But once again, a good story of men having a vision and trying their best to make it happen. Look, a bobsled, which is kind of why I said all that. So this was apparently the Kinney Mercantile, opened in 1881. Groceries, supplies, clothing. By the way, over 1,000 people had lived here in Ashcroft. Some numbers say well over 3,000. Who knows for sure. It was only really in the years of 1881 to 1883 that the majority of the town saw its life. And of course that meant you had to have over 20 saloons here. Hotels, the usual. Let's find out what all was here and what's left. That's about the architecture of a mining camp. But what was in this building? Was it a livery stable? Was it a tech store? I see somebody was working on some new signs. Uh-oh, and the sign broke in half. Aw, I have a visitor. I have a little bird. A little bird on a wire. Hi, bird. Oh, now he's gone. Well, for a moment there, I had some wildlife. How cool is that? So, sign snapped in half, which maybe means it was the old sign. Ashcroft was established early in 1880 as a mining camp. It was abandoned in the 1890s. When the silver boom ended, the town was a stage station on the old Taylor Pass toll road. Help prevent forest fires. Who knows how old this sign is? Yeah, well, by 1885, there's very few people left. So I love capturing these for YouTube because you never know when these buildings will be gone, when a fire comes through. Hopefully they'll be well protected. Here you have a room with cardboard for insulation. Believe me, when it's 0 degrees and you're freezing and suddenly your little wood stove isn't really doing the job, you'll layer your walls with, cardboard's a great insulator. We've seen other places do it with newspaper. And as you can see, it wasn't very well built to keep out the wind. It certainly needed some kind of wall paneling. Imagine this is your house, but then again, it was only your house for a few years. Yeah, watch your step. I wonder if that's an original bed frame. So in 1958, a television show filmed here called Sergeant Preston of the Yukon was actually a hit. And they dressed this town up with false facades, which I'm guessing that might be one of them. Unless that's a restored one, because it looks mighty new. It actually looks too new to even be from 1958. I'm only guessing here. You can compare it with the older one in the back. So maybe the older one in the back was from 1958, and maybe this one's been replaced. Anyway, that's the hard part of making any film, is that you don't know what's old and what's new. But even 1958 at this point is pretty old. Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. I'm gonna have to look that one up on YouTube, see if I can watch some of it. Camera problems. And we'll see what differences it looks like from now. So I'm not a historian, but I play one on YT. I would encourage you to look up the history of these places yourself, because I do this unscripted. I don't have a script, I don't write the script. I do read other people's scripts. If you leave one on the wall, I will. So this one actually has real windows and a padlock. So I'm wondering if somebody actually stays here. No, it's pretty much empty. An old stove in the corner. And it said, AHS interns live here. Do not approach. Oh, silly me, I'm approaching. Well, apparently nobody's living there. But from back here, this photo I must have. And now I have it on video. So the ghosts of Ashcroft, or the ghosts of chloride, if we're talking about 1881, do they still live here? I don't know, in those few short years, how many people would actually have died during those years to leave ghosts? I get asked a lot, do you see ghosts in ghost towns? I've never actually had an experience other than one motel. It was a hotel in Nevada, the Mitzpah Hotel, where I was looking for ghosts, and I did find some oddity, some shaking of lights and EMF. But that still proves nothing when you have no proof of ghosts. But for now, Gwen and I have this to ourselves. And not by design. It just happens if you come after 5, even on a Saturday. You will get a period of time when Ashcroft is completely a quiet place. Let's go see what's next. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this would be great to see around Halloween, wouldn't it? I'm guessing it's a hotel or general store. This is the hotel view. Talking about a post office, the telegraph office, and this right here. Let's go see it before it gets locked up. I don't think there's a door on it. Look out for snakes, right? All the windows are gone. This poster talks about Ashcroft pioneer Davis H. Waite. Pioneer Nellie Bird. Wait, I hear footsteps. Footsteps! It's Gwen. There you go. Almost thought we had our first episode with a ghost in it during the daylight hours, no less. Boys Club. These are just topics you can look up. Like I said, I'm not a historian. I'm not going to pretend to be. I'm here for photographs and to capture places like this before they are no more. before a developer comes in, wraps hotels around them or something. I'm here just to experience the quiet. Well then, not much going on up here. There's a ghostly figure down below. It's a Gwen. She waves. I wouldn't normally film the going of the downstairs, but look at the pretty flowers through the window. River loop. Let's see what the river looks like. Can you imagine what this looks like in the fall when these aspen trees, quaking aspens, when those leaves all turn yellow? I might have to come back in the fall and show you. If my phone can pick it up, you might hear a hummingbird. They chirp. Yeah, like that. Beautiful.